Good morning. I am Keanu Reeve's soul, and I am back again here today to continue to unveil the truth to humankind. I am one of the advanced souls who came to Earth to help to free this planet from evil with the ascension to a higher dimension of light. Almost any soul in this world can communicate telepathically if they choose to, as they are not restricted or limited by this reality like the humans are on the surface. Also, the soul is more advanced and aware than the human being you see on the outside, because most are still not connected to their soul, which would have made their life much more easier. Instead, the majority of the human population allow for the human ego and mind to be charged of their existence that only create and bring problems to their life and are very limited compared to the soul and consciousness, as the soul is ignored and left in the background. The only times people usually, who do not meditate silently on a regular basis, feel their soul is when they know they did something negative and they feel guilty about it and bothers them because their consciousness from their soul shows it to them on what they did wrong, so they would learn from the mistake. I have been blessed to be awakened and to remember that I am a galactic soul. Many humans are still asleep on Earth and don't even realize it, that they have a soul, and without it, no one can be alive in a physical body. The Matrix movies were made for a reason to show mankind that they are living in a created and not a real environment, where human beings don't have any freedom and are controlled most of their lives, unless they are awakened and realize the true meaning of this system. Also, the role of the films were to ignite a mass awakening of humanity on this planet by start questioning the reality they are living in, as it's similar to the Matrix. The human population in this world are controlled by their own version of the 3D Matrix and are used as batteries for the dark controllers, who feed on dark and negative energies, which come in many forms of chaos, problems, and destruction. So any human being that entertains or expresses any negative behaviors or emotions towards others, which is not based on love and light, they are feeding the system that has enslaved mankind for a very long time now. Humans' brains are controlled by the codes inputted by the Matrix, which means many can't think for themselves. They just follow the narrative given to them by the dark controllers, like the normal behaviors which are accepted in the human society, many of which are negative coming from darkness itself, that keeps humanity divided and fighting with other through wars and conflicts over superficial differences created by the evil souls, like race, skin color, nationality, flag, and religions. These things will never bring any lasting peace to the whole human race, as they are used against humanity to fight each other and feed the dark souls through hate, animosity, jealousy, violence, and any form of negative emotions or actions towards the rest of humanity. If you think that you are free, it's an illusion. Every aspect of human's life is controlled by the financial system that makes you work to survive in this environment. Even your vacation time is overseen on how much time you can take off, which is usually for most a very short period of time compared to on how much time they spend in their job. Humans get manipulated by their own ego into believing that they are something important. In reality, they are completely fooled by the dark entities. The Matrix movies came out in the late 1990s and in the early 2000s to help humanity to move forward, as it was part of a bigger plan, which was stopped by the negative ones in the 9/11 attack on the Twin Towers, that we're going to launch a new financial system for the whole humanity, based on freedom and flooding this planet with money for everyone except for the dark rich. It was done by their own dark American government, through explosives demolition causing the structures to quickly collapse and the Pentagon building hit by a military missile. The media was also used to sell this story of showing a CGI plane hitting the building, and they had placed planes parts on the sites. Also, certain paid actors were used as false witnesses to talk to the news about it, claiming they saw planes hitting the tower in the Pentagon to make it more believable. It was even admitted in the intelligence that supposed pilots could not pull this off. The attack of maneuvering the airplanes into the buildings, they were not skilled and experienced enough. You also, still even today, have available visually and truthfully evidence, showing on what really happened on that day, as the truth will always be there shining the light against the darkness. The Middle East was used as an easy scapegoat for the negative controllers to start more wars and bring destruction to humanity, which continues even now in that region. Today, it's being carried by the false and dark chosen savior of mankind, who supports and protects the pure evil in that part of world, which has brought a genocide to human beings in that region. Also, is now trying to do the same thing to Lebanon. Once a lie is collectively accepted as the truth, then humans will fight each other for darkness and keep it going, because they don't like to be wrong on such a big scale, or in general, their ego will not allow it. Another example of it, more are awakening to it. But many still believe that the moon landing was real, and which is not the reality. It was staged and filmed by a Hollywood movie director, yet many still argue and fight with others who came to realization that it was a lie sold to humanity. A perfect example of it, recently, NASA supposedly finished a mission to only go around the moon. Over 56 years later, at the time when they had landline circular dial phones with wires, which supposedly was used by the American president to make a call all of the way to the moon. Today, with iPhones, 8K TV screens, AI, robots, and the beginning stages of flying cars, and they still can't land on the moon. It just shows humanity on how dishonest the space agencies are on this planet. Mankind, throughout their history, always had been looking for the one, like in the Matrix movies, to save them on the outside. This has only sank humanity deeper into slavery, as most of the leaders only serve darkness in themselves. The savior human beings have been looking for has always been on the inside of them, their soul and consciousness. Only you can save yourselves, and no one else can do it for you. Since that event happened, humankind collectively has ended up into more darkness by following false stories and old plans that never came true. Made up by the dark entities about the upcoming RV, Nasara/Gasara, EBS, 10 Days of Darkness, Solar Flash, and so on. Not everyone, but many are still taking the blue pill by lying to themselves and following lies about on what is really happening in mankind's ascension process, and are just waiting for others to do the work for them and liberate this planet from evil. Darkness does not want for humans doing anything for their freedom and stay asleep and just keep on waiting for things to change on their own, as this will keep it power. It's time for human beings to take the red pill and wake up by being honest with themselves and see the truth, or otherwise they will continue to live in a lie, being a slave, and just a number in the 3D Matrix. The fourth Matrix film was released in 2021, trying to ignite a spark in humanity to go after their own freedom. You have unusual events that happen in this world in the sea, where ships look like they are floating above the ocean. It's an illusion created through a mirage of making ships far away appear to be moving above the water, just like this 3D reality is based not on the truth of keeping humankind asleep in a dark dream full of lies and deceptions. The human race needs to unite to get back the power they lost by being in this third low-dimension world. You need to reconnect with your soul and the universal consciousness of light and raise your vibration by exposing yourself to the truth, expressing love, spreading light, and most importantly, doing daily, silent meditations. Sending my supreme love to everyone. Thank you, Ambassador of Galactic Light Forces. Please remember to be kind to each other through love and sending light to everyone. In this world, we are all one. Family of brothers and sisters, connected with each other, with the light coming from our souls, and no lie from the darkness will ever change. the universal truth about it. Keanu Reeves' soul. Channeled by Erena Velazquez, Ambassador of Galactic Light Forces.